As of the past number of years, there's been substantive conversation and effort put forth towards the possibility of a separated Alberta for sure, but a separated West possibly. And obviously since the latest federal election in October, this has skyrocketed. There is groups that have been meeting for numerous years, numerous sessions. There's politicians, everything. Everybody's talking, everybody's meeting, but we're making absolutely no forward progress as far as I'm concerned. I don't think anything positive is coming out of this. Jason Kenney virtually got elected based on the frustration of Albertans. He immediately gets into his position and then pretends that he has no idea what Alberta wants, so he launches the Fair Deal panel to roam around the country. And I can assure you, virtually nothing is going to come of this. At best, we'll get one tiny small piece of the demanded firewall. And as far as separation, that's laughable. There's not even going to be a consideration of that given. So with that said, what I am proposing to do is I think we need to get a public constitution, agenda, whatever you want to call it, but a public list of demands, requests from Westerners that everybody knows, everybody understands, and if any politician or any faction group says, well, we'll have to get a meeting or we'll have to form a committee or a group to decide what we need to do, we can call bullshit and just say, no, look, it's right there, take a look at that. So what I've done is I put together a letter that I sent out to numerous factions and individuals, and I'm requesting that they take a look at the firewall suggestions and the recent poll that we ran on the Serious About Leaving Twitter feed, where we asked what would residents of Western Canada like when it comes to a constitutional guide or constitutional agenda for Western Canada. I've put those together, and I have sent a cover letter with it and forwarded it to these factions and asked for their input. And from there, what I'm trying to do is I want to put together a group agreed upon agenda, constitution that we can send out to politicians, media, our people, and say, look, this is what Westerners are wanting. Quit playing the game, quit putting together committees and meetings and going on and on and on and having nothing come of it. So with that said, I'm just going to read to you what the content of the letter was that I sent out to the factions. It says, Dear Westerner, I ask that you, on behalf of your faction, group, organization, add your preferred answers to the list of firewall and poll questions below and return it to me ASAP. Serious About Leaving is a website that was launched in an effort to bring the multitude of Western Canada separatist factions, groups, and individual supporters together. I feel it is imperative for each faction, group, or individual to remain true to their course. However, a general agreed on common agenda needs to be penned. Once finalized, this Western agenda needs to be available to the respective supporters of each faction and forced into the hands of our elected representatives. Our tactics for success may remain unique to each of our causes, but the general goal must be common. We need to begin a focused attack on our elected representatives. My intent is to put this information letter questionnaire in the hands of each separatist faction over the next few weeks, requesting for their immediate input. Upon return of these letters and the assembly of the information, I will communicate necessary questions, concerns via a group email communication until I am able to obtain a generally agreed upon common agreement. Should it be necessary, I would leave open the option of a face-to-face group meeting with all factions. However, at this point, I do not believe that will be necessary. The final, generally agreed upon agenda would be a foundational core structure for a new Western Canada, separated or otherwise. Following a final draft and confirmation of the agenda, we would go back to our respective corners and continue our respective work. The agenda would be distributed to our supporters, politicians, local media, and the public in general via each of our respective networks. Either they, whoever they may end up being, make the indicated changes, or we will make the changes through whatever means necessary. This would be our line in the sand. And then the letter goes on, lists the 9 commonly known firewall demands and the 34 poll questions that we put forth on the Serious About Leaving Twitter feed regarding a hypothetical constitution for Western Canada. Once we have all the information gathered and I'm able to put it together in a standard acceptable format that we can send back out to the public, what I think needs to be done is we need to get this out via all our channels. Each faction, each group, whether it be a Wexit, whether it be a Freedom Talk, whoever, get it out through your own means. I'm not saying we need to team up as a group, because all of the Western Separatist factions have different goals in mind, have a little bit of different agenda as to how they think they should get this thing across. So I don't think it's something that we all need to work directly together, because I don't think we can all work directly together because of the fact that we just are different. But we need to have this common agenda goal. I think once this information gets out into the public's hands, the individuals, through media, newspaper, at that point, what we can do by doing this, or what we can achieve by doing this, is we can stop the game that committees, groups, and politicians are playing, where it's a stall tactic. We'll have to look into this. We'll get back to you next month. We'll have another meeting. We'll form a committee. It goes on and on and on, and nothing ever is achieved. Nothing gets done. And then leading up to the next election, in the event that the politicians, the conservatives or whoever, but generally conservatives out this neck of the woods, if these politicians won't listen, won't pay attention to what it is that we as Westerners want, then maybe it's time they get their asses the hell out of here, because they are not listening and they are not acting according to what a lot of us are wanting. In addition, if yourself or anybody you know, or a faction that I may have missed that you feel should have a copy of this and would like to provide their input, by all means, please go onto the website. Ideally, add your name to the list of people who support Western separation, or go to the bottom of the contact page and send me a request with the names, email, contact, so on and so forth, of whoever you want this list and cover letter sent to. I believe with a focused effort on the media, on all our politicians, I think there is a real possibility that Wexit, the general term, as in the exit of Western Canada from Canada, is a possibility. And at least, if not, I believe we can make a lot of the changes that Western Canada needs staying within the whole that is Canada. We just need to get some politicians that represent us and bloody well do as they're told.